My name is Chris, and I'm leading this ship, I suppose, as your captain. So I would just say that LeadrPro is probably the most organic business idea that I've ever had. I truly believe that we're sitting on a winning lottery ticket, and it really depends on us how we execute it.
My name's Chris. I can share with you like what it is that we're building and why, and then Walter can share with you a little bit more about the technical side. I was born in Chicago, and I grew up in Palos Verdes in the South Bay here in LA, and I moved out here when I was about 8 years old, I think. As a kid, I was always very creative. I always would write a lot of poetry, paint, draw. I was really good at drawing, but never like fostered or encouraged to do those things. Grew up in a household where you really have like 4 to 5 job options. It's like, you know, do business or do law or become a doctor. Yeah, I ended up graduating from high school in Hong Kong. Ended up going there for my last year of high school, and I ended up going to NYU, and was going to NYU to study finance, even though really had no connection to finance, no passion for it. I ended up like just flunking out of college, really struggling in college the first few years. I think, you know, I don't think I would have done well in school regardless at that time. I was just kind of like lost and confused and not sure what I really wanted to do, and I was just going through the motions. And then also in addition to that, my dad was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer in my freshman year. Found out that, yeah, he had stage 4 colorectal cancer. And that shook, you know, obviously our whole family. He ended up living for 10 years, squeezed 10 years of life out of him, out of himself, like, but ultimately passed away, I think like maybe 8 years ago now. But we had this opportunity, which is, I think, a very unique opportunity of like knowing that somebody's really sick, being able to elongate his life, appreciating life in that way, but still knowing that death is around the corner at any given time and everything's never guaranteed. And so how do you live, you know, with that mindset? And I think it's had a lot of impact in terms of like how I've chosen career paths since then, what I've done with my life since then. I've always lived, you know, in a way where it was like, don't stress too much, and good and bad, but like don't worry about all the consequences and repercussions of like your actions, take risks, that kind of mindset. And I've done that in my life. I like the hustle and the grind of trying to build something from nothing. I really like that feeling. And I feel like I've done this a lot in my life, which is kind of like just get myself in a situation where I have to figure it out. And that's literally what happened. I had to figure it out. Look, the bigger goal for me has always been like shape shift the world somehow, like change, evolve, innovate. You know, there's always a better way to do something. Also, I think like just having talked about my background, I've been that dude that's been broke, that's like sat on a couch with a great idea that just really didn't know how to get it off the fucking ground and had no direction. You know, really it's just about connecting and like allowing people the opportunity to realize like, look, I don't need to be a technical person to start a company. I don't need to be a technical person to start a SaaS business. I don't need to like be all these things that we stereotype these tech founders to be. Everything that I've done, I feel, has been super logical and comes from a place of like, how do I just get to this next step? And I think that's really important for people to see. I think this is the right time to do this for me and what we're doing here, because I think when you look at a startup and the risks of creating this company, like, and you see exactly how we get there, you know, like that's super powerful in my opinion. And even if we fail, right, like fail like glamorously, like I think it's important to show people what not to do. My past and my work history is so checkered, like, and I think a lot of these entrepreneurs go through the same thing. And I just want to share more of those stories so that even if you're that 30, 40, 50-year-old guy or woman or whatever on that couch that's like stuck in a dead-end job or like making $12 an hour, because I've been there, like doesn't mean you have to do that forever. Like a lot of these times it's just ponying up enough like guts and courage to just like, I got nothing to lose. Like I don't want my life to be like this, and I'm just going to do whatever I can in my power to not make it like this. How crazy would it be if we become $1 billion company and we're seeing this from day one.